All right. Sorry, I'm a bit late. Today we're talking about, well, I've got a little chestnut to add to our female fitness myths podcast. And the latest myth that I'm seeing is that you have to give 100% in every single session. Now, I'm sorry if I'm going to bother a bunch of you personal trainers, but that's just not true. In fact, for women in particular, it can be downright catastrophic. But in the very least, there's no added benefit, okay, to training at 100% every session. Consistency trumps intensity every single time. Especially if the intensity of any given session means that you're going to skip or avoid it. Now, what I want you to do when I'm talking today is keep in mind that I have worked at NSwiss with professional athletes. Not that many athletes are making money out of their profession at the moment, but if our athletes are giving 100% in every session and they're training 6 days a week or more, then they're going to break down and wear down. We don't have to do that with our clients, and as a client, I don't have to do that in my session. I'm better off turning up. Now, I did find some interesting studies which I'm going to share with you today. Number one looked at weight loss, and the most successful group in their weight loss, in the weight loss category, and the ones that were most successful in keeping the weight off, in keeping their exercise at both a moderate and vigorous intensity over a period of time, were the participants that trained at the same time every day. That's it. It didn't matter what time of day they were training, but because they trained at the same time every single day, they established a habit and they were more successful in keeping their weight off. Now, that's not the same. When I'm saying consistency trumps intensity, I'm not saying that there should not be intensity in our sessions at all. Okay? It's not black or white. What I'm saying is that we need to aim for balance, a balance of high intensity and recovery, a balance of high volume and short intervals. The variety is far more engaging and more effective, and it can reduce overuse injuries and deliver a broader spectrum of health results, right? So in endurance athletes, peppering their endurance sessions with high intensity moments, okay, yielded better results than high intensity alone, as well as high volume alone. Okay, so even in athletes, variety is better than going hard in every single session. So the lesson here for your average female client is keep them training consistently, just the same time every week. That's it. Adapt the intensity to how they feel on any given day. So you can have hard moments, you can have hard sessions, but you're not flogging them every single session. Expecting 100% in their session means that you must have menstrual cycle literacy, because you risk disrupting their hormonal cycle, and you risk, if you're training them every day or 3 or 5 times a week especially, or they're training every day, you risk RED-S, which is relative energy deficit syndrome, and there are lifelong consequences to that disorder, including premature osteoporosis, premature heart disease, infertility, thyroid dysfunctions, and heaps more. So it's one of the reasons why female athletes are so high on the risk scale for these disorders. When we expect them to be healthier, they're actually developing these diseases earlier and at a more severe intensity than the general population. So this is how I do it in my women's strength and conditioning program. We do a 4-week cycle. So week 1 is half-assed week, where they literally go through the motions. Week 2 is moderate intensity. Week 3 is moderate to high, but still not 100%. Week 4 is 100%, but only if they've slept well, they're fully nourished, they're hydrated, and they're not stressed. Otherwise, maybe 90% is enough, okay? Which is still really hard, okay? And then we start over again with a new program. We repeat that cycle for 4 weeks, and then every 11th week I have a high volume week where they double their sessions, but then they get a full week off, okay? And then it's possible to do this kind of cycling in alignment with their menstrual cycle too. But in the very, very least, if you're going hard every session, menstrual cycle literacy will mean that you can detect a hormone imbalance much earlier than if you're not asking about it and you've got no idea. So, the lesson is you do not have to go 100% in every session. Just showing up is enough, okay? If you've got 50% on any given day, then 50% is enough. And as long as you have variety, you will get stronger, you will get fitter, and you will perform better in your activities of daily life. So don't let anyone tell you you have to flog yourself.